We'll start the stream there. We'll head on over to the VTR, let the kids watch the video. Well, yeah, if you want to go ahead and start up mix, maybe just start the broadcast like
Professor
5 minutes.
Professor Pressure has videos of bees and stuff. What do we got?
Yes, you'll record. I'm not going to record over here. It'll eat up all my hard drive very quickly. Actually, I haven't tried to record and live stream on this setup yet, but still, I mean, YouTube's going to archive it, and then we have the MP3 backup. So as long as we have the audio, that's all I ever worry about. So what were we talking about, Peas? The cigarette game? Yeah.
Talking about the cigarette game.
So Flux Rutenberg was, we were loading in for a show, right? He was like, so they drop a couple of pieces of gear off, and of course everybody stops to go and smoke. And he's like, well, you want to get a cigarette? I'm like, no. We're going to go and get the rest of the shit. We're just going to walk by them, let them enjoy it, but we're going to go get the rest of the stuff. And we get everything, and then we come in and we set it up. We do a basic sound check, and then we backline everything to the back of the stage. And then I go out and I say, okay, how about that cigarette? And the other guys, they all have to drop theirs and finish, their second. Maybe they're even on their second or third at this point, but they have to wrap up what they're doing, go in and get their shit straightened out. And I said, and now we get to sit here and enjoy the entire cigarette. You've earned it. And that's why I get to smoke during the show, because I'm earning them.
I quit smoking.
I've quit smoking 100 times.
Me too, thousands of times. I quit drinking too.
What were you drinking?
Rum.
When was the last time you had rum?
Well, it's a complicated thing. 2 weeks and like 17 days. But I'm just not drinking at home. Like if I was to go, and I'm not drinking for the first 30 days. So like if I go somewhere, I might have a beer or something like that, but I'm not going to sit home and have 5 or 6 drinks every night.
I didn't know you drank that much to begin with. You have 5 or 6 drinks every night?
Yeah.
What do you drink?
Like sometimes rum.
Just rum. You have okay. So what's a drink of rum? Is each one at least like a shot?
It's more than a shot.
So
here's the thing. I would go through 2. You know what a handle is?
That's like the full. That's like the jug, right?
Right. It's like the jug, right? And a handle holds 3/5. Complete fifths of liquor. That's why you buy the handle. It's economical. It's like getting a fifth of liquor for free. I would go through 2 of those in about a week. Because on Saturday and Sunday, I start drinking at about, 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. Drink till I go to bed. Unless I'm camping, then I'll do stuff, then I'll drink.
And just rum. Straight? Neat? Did you mix it with anything?
Drink it with ginger ale. And for years, I drank
rum
it with
and
Coca-Cola.
ginger ale.
Yeah, but for years, I drank it with Coca-Cola. But for like the last 2 years, I've been drinking it with ginger ale.
What kind of ginger ale do you like?
Canada Dry is my preferred ginger ale.
Oh, I see.
So,
shopping out. Fancy man.
So I started cutting back to where I was only drinking a handle a week. And then I made a rule, if I ran out during the week and I drank that whole handle, that was it. I couldn't buy it again till an entire 7 days had passed. And this is what you do before you wind up having to go to rehab and stuff. You play all these fucking games of control with alcohol. And I'm sure what I'm doing right now is another fucking game of control with alcohol. But we'll see. We'll see.
I gotta get a set of cans.
I'm still I'm still smoking weed. But the other thing is, and Pam and I talked about this because I've been thinking about my drinking for a long time, for about 6 or 7 months.
Well, that'll do it.
And I drink a lot out of boredom, and
because it's really exciting, right?
Dude, I'm just telling you my journey of self-discovery. If you don't want to hear it, I can change the subject.
Oh, I'm not allowed to make my usual witty banter? I thought that was...
No, you can make your banter. I'm just saying, the thing about it is that, well, we got to do show. We got to wait for the show results. We got to save it for the show. No, I don't care. I'll talk about the show. It's...
Yeah, we got a couple minutes leading in, but yeah, there we go. We got a little something there. We got a little bit of Cube news tonight. Oh, we gotta get those fucking membership kits done. I gotta go and get stickers.
We owe Lobo a kit, dude.
Well, I'll make him one, but this is the last of this edition that's going out. Then the next one's getting made, and I'm raising the price.
Okay. Everybody's doing it now. That Rat Patrol, Rat Hole people are doing membership.
Good. They should raise their price. You use that money to support what you're doing. People understand that. I'll give you a I'll give you a folder full of neat stuff. And then I'll use that money, for stuff. Mainly to buy P's lights.
It works good where it's at now. It's highlighting Bob's face. I can go like this too. Bob will nod. Like the biggest bobblehead in the world.
He is the biggest bobblehead in the world.
Bob the bobblehead. Bobblehead Bob. You know, red velvet cake is just chocolate cake?
No, it's not, because I like red velvet cake.
Yep. No, it's...
Just call me MC White Chocolate.
Red velvet cake is chocolate. Red velvet cake is chocolate cake. It's a huge fucking lie. That's all it is chocolate cake. No white
Canadian
chocolate.
bacon's just regular ham. No. It's just ham.
That's what they tell you in Florida, but that's not true. Did you have fun with Cosmac?
Oh man, torture, absolute torture. Now here comes the theme song. It's my favorite part.
Adobe Universal Leader.
Broadcasting live from Hypercube Labs here in the future capital of the former Spanish Empire. That was Fid's joke. Remember that? I'm still using it. This is Time for the Show, episode 172, bringing you your weekly Subgenius radio ministry updates and Hypercube Psychoustic firmware upgrades. Yeah, no, we won't use the same word twice now. And you can jump in on all that psychoacoustic, hold on, I'm gonna do this, pleasure by visiting timefortheshow.com and clicking the Discord button. And you can join the Hypercom just like my buddy, Reverend Peas. Hi, Peas. How you doing tonight? I don't know which buttons do which. There's still Flux Rutenberg's. I like that one.
Where is Flux Rutenberg? I'm getting letters wanting to know where Flux Rutenberg is.
I am too. They want to know where he's at. You know, he checked in with me last week. Now, if you were here last week, joke's on you, I guess. A lot of people didn't read Peas' important post to the Chattercube Hypercom text update channel. And people were asking, where's the show? Where's the show? And Peas, I put that on you. I gave you one responsibility. I said, please, Peas, let the kids know that we're not doing time for the show tonight. And yet the entire chat is filled, where's the show? This is lame. This is stupid. What are we supposed to do now? I set time aside in my busy schedule to come watch Time for the Show, and nobody had the remote inkling. Peas. Why? Why?
Because people are stupid.
You're gonna blame the audience? It's their fault?
Of course I am.
Are you sure that you communicated that we weren't going to do the show effectively?
I did. I would go back to the original post, but man, it's got to go through so much stuff. Let me see what I said here. Hold on.
Oh, he's going to look for proof. Here we go. It's my favorite part of the show.
Yep.
Where Peas looks for proof.
Your favorite part of the show, Peas looks for proof that he did what he said he was going to do.
Oh, while you look that up, we're going to go to my favorite part of the show, which is Cube News, all the news that's fit to Cube. So yeah, last week we didn't do the show. That was I was out of town, and I was invited up by our sponsor, Triology Soaps, available at packslack.com. I went to see Rubik's Cube live at the Funhouse in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, birthplace of our Lord and Savior, David Bowie. So,
one of the great places in this country to retire.
And I was very fortunate. I was escorted by Dr. Cosmac. He wore a sash, said, "I'm with Dr. Fox," and
Cosmac Commando!
Cosmac lives up to his subgenius duties regularly and facilitated everything, well, most everything that I needed or wanted during my stay. But I got to go up, and Ferg was there, and Synfaltimus Ex Mortis was there. Reverend Spike had made it out. Chris Mock made it out. And of course, Cosmac and I were there, and the pubes were there. So it was a little subgenius meetup. It was nice, and we got to see a great show. So Rubik's Cube played Friday night, and if you guys are new to the show, you might not have heard some of the Rubik's Cube songs that we played on our breaks, and or you might not have come to X Day and seen them live, and you might not have seen them live up in your area, in the Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey tri-state area, you know, and that's on you, you goober. But they did a show on Friday night, which apparently went over really well, and then Saturday night they did another show, and they did 3 45-minute sets, and they were that evening's entire entertainment, and they had the place packed, and people were dancing and hooping and hollering and making all kinds of joyful noise. So I just like to say, praise Rubik's Cube for totally kicking ass at that show. And I instantly realized that them coming to X Day was an even bigger deal than it already was. Those guys are definitely going somewhere, and I thank them for everything, and for Ferg for putting us up. So we do have footage, and it looks like we might have like 3 angles. So I'm going to try and cut some stuff together and make a video similar to what I did with TTN with the performance at the Iron Cow. It was just a couple of cell phones getting the room, but we did get some good audio recordings too. So X Day definitely showed us what we need to be focusing on. So we got, I'm pretty sure we got the entire performance. Excuse me. And that'll be my next project. And they want to come on the show. So when I was talking to Reverend Loch Ness last, they're working on a music video, and I believe they put out a hit. So if you're in the I guess the Bethlehem, Pennsylvania area to, I don't know, New Jersey. If you're up in that area, look up Rubik's Cube on Facebook. And I'm not sure what they are on Facebook, but the name of the band is Rubik's Cube, and they're looking for people for their music video. So definitely get in on that. I got to get on stage with them for a few minutes. I had a megaphone strapped to my head, and I just screamed at people for about a minute. Which was great. I love to take advantage of their awesome audience. That was fantastic. And thanks to Stang for giving me all those Dobbs Head stickers that I passed out to everybody. Speaking of... Oh, wait, it's the other one. That's
what the fuck? You got a bunch of Dobbs Head stickers?
Got a big old stack of them.
That's
where were we at? So, yeah. Oh, I don't have it. It's in the other room. It's in the fruit bowl. But I have the DVD for the Subgenius movie, the documentary. J.R. Bob Dobbs and the Church of the... Hold on. This is worth... Peace. Tell the kids how sorry you are for not telling them about the show last week.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know what Biddy's going to do with this DVD, but Sandy called me the other day. And... she's hoping, and this is, I know that's, like, not everybody liked the movie. I thought it was a good movie. There's parts of it I probably wouldn't edit it that way, but I liked it. It's a good movie. But she called me the other day, how can we get more word about the movie out? And I hooked her up with Alan Smithy, who, as we all know, is Mr. Lobo, because, he has the OSI 74 platform, and I let them go at it, but, she was really wanting to get a grass movement, Subgenius, promotion of this movie, and I know that Stang has told her this, and I kind of told, I said, it's just not really how it works. You have to remember something. Half the people pissed off about the movie.
Yeah. They're not happy
so
about it.
So they're probably not gonna. So she's, what do you mean they're pissed off? And I'm like, don't take any offense on it. It's your art. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed, me and Cosmac, of course, appeared in it. It's our first appearance together in a major motion picture. So that was exciting for us. But, other people didn't like it. They thought that it was a little too
I hadn't seen it yet.
I know you have you seen it now? Have you watched it now?
It's still in the wrap. So Stang gave me a copy of this from X Day. And I haven't seen it yet. And the main reason I haven't seen it is because I was told I was not portrayed in a positive light in the film.
I don't. That's not true at all.
Well, we'll find out. So we're.
Who told you that? Who told you that? In what
several
kind of
people. Several people. They said
I think
Dr.
people,
Fox. You are not gonna like this movie. That's what they said. They said, you specifically, there's people out there, and then there's subgeniuses out there. You are not going to like this movie. So I'm like, I gotta see this thing. So I got a copy, and I've been holding off on it because I've explained before, when I want to watch movies, I like to dim the lights and everybody shuts the hell up. You get one pee break. You get one pee break in the middle of the movie, and we're gonna do the math. We're gonna find the run time, and we're gonna split it in half.
Not very long. It's not, here's the thing.
It's not very long, but here's where I get worried. Okay, so I'm trying to go in because if you recall, I used to do movie reviews, right?
Yeah. They
were published in The Pale Horse by Freethink Radio. And I'm renowned throughout the internet for being just being right. You can't. People try to argue with me. They try to, but they can't even begin to argue with me because I'm already right. So they give me this. They give me this movie. So I'm gonna watch it. And I'm gonna do a review of this movie. And the first thing, here's my first note. This is the legal box, right? Is this the one you got, Peas? Did you get one of these?
I bought mine online. I didn't get one of those.
How much?
I didn't get any fucking stickers from my friend Ivan Stang. I didn't get a DVD. I didn't get any of that stuff, man.
You paid for a digital copy, an e-copy?
Yeah.
On which platform?
When it first came out, and I'm not sure. I think it's on Amazon. I have a copy of it. Or I might have a digital copy that's just on my iPad. I'll have to look it up. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure my money went. The thing, I want to backtrack a little bit because I want to get some historical things, and I want you to enter into watching this movie with the right frame of mind.
Sure.
First
Why
of
not?
all, so here's the thing. I know because we go back a little bit of ways. We've been doing the show for
20 years.
4 years. 24 years. And before the movie even came out, you were, if I'm not telling tales, you were kind of against it to begin with.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to say that you were already kind of predisposed not to like it. Now, I've seen the movie. I went to the premiere of the movie in Austin with Philo and Ivan Stang and a bunch of other people. I saw it at the Austin Film Festival, at the South by Southwest thing. I bought a copy of it. I've seen the movie. I want to say I'm not like Stang. I haven't watched it 75 times, but I've seen the movie at least 4 times, complete viewings, much as you insist upon. Once at the actual premiere. Okay, there's no getting up and talking at that. When I bought it, and when I had my wife watch it, Carrots. So that's at least 3 times, and I know I watched it one at a time from that. I will tell you this, as someone that I would.
Don't be careful. Don't sway my bias now.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sway your bias. I want you to go into it with an open mind because this is what I think.
Which is wrong.
Had been portraying you in a bad light. After that many viewings, I would like to think I had picked up on that because you are a dear friend of mine, and I feel like if you were to take umbrage at something in that movie, I, as your friend, would have took umbrage at it as well, and I did not walk away from the movie thinking that you were portrayed poorly. I don't remember you being in it all that much to begin with. And I don't mean that as a hurtful, maybe.
I mean, it's kind of hurtful. I mean,
it's not meant to be. I'm in it.
My heart is bleeding.
Seconds. I'm in it for 2 seconds. But I will say this. I think that they get.
You counted frame by frame. Do you have a legal 2 seconds, or do you have like a second and 22 frames?
Dude, I don't know. It's maybe I know
what
that
frame
it's
rate
me,
was this movie
and I
shot
know that
at?
it's Cosmag.
This isn't the movie. Now, this isn't the first movie that somebody tried to make. It takes somebody to make the fucking movie. The first X Day that I went to, which was pretty well attended, there was a crew there filming a documentary, and they had 3D cameras. You remember that, Aster 6? The guys who brought the 3D cameras to the nudist camp?
Never saw the light of day.
Nothing ever came from that. And, this
brings me back to my original point. Many times in my history in the church, because you had your couple minutes, let me get out here. People say, oh, this guy's comedy's no good, or I don't like this drawing, or I don't like this person's rant. And one thing that I learned very early is people go, Stang, why did you put that on the radio? Why did you? Stang's like, well, those people showed the fuck up, and they got up there and they did their stuff, and someone out there listening to it likes it. Trust me, I might not like it, you might not like it, but somebody somewhere likes it. And if they don't, even if it's the person themselves who made it, It's all that really fucking matters. So when you talk about, hey, she made this movie, she made it her way, it's a professionally made film. It's not like it's pieced together. It's a good movie. I don't think that the divergence into Trump-esque thing, Legume has a huge part in it. And I think that, timing might be some of that, but it's not a bad movie. It's probably a pretty accurate movie about what the church is. But again, it's her movie. It's her vision. We could make our movie about the church and it would be totally different. It might be just as fucking good if we ever get to that level of production values and shit like that. But as far as you being portrayed negatively in it, I didn't see that at all. And I feel like I would have picked up on that. Although you said other people told you that you weren't. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I've been holding out.
So
I feel like there's no way around it. I'm going to go into this movie.
I think people fuck with you though sometimes, dude.
People fuck with me?
Get you stirred up. Yeah, I think they say shit to you to get you stirred up sometimes.
When? I can't imagine that ever happening. People egging me on? Is that what you're saying? People gaslighting me?
I don't know what gaslighting means because I'm too old, but
you should have had like
people like, oh, I'm gonna.
You
stir
cooked
up
meth.
Fox.
You should know exactly what gaslighting is.
Doesn't have your best interest at heart. They don't have your best interest at heart. Hey, even if what's
these
the
are
whole
people
that
give me money, so I will call them my friends. These are the best people in the world.
Well, here's the thing.
Subgeniuses.
How many of them are versed enough in subculture that when a movie's made about the subculture, even though many original people were left out, some of them pissed off. Hellswami is kind of pissed off. They came and interviewed him and did all kinds of shit and didn't use one picture of him. He was bent about that. So I think that if you make the cut and there's enough of you in there for people to draw an opinion one way or the other, that's a win for you. Regardless of what that opinion is, that's a win for you because a few million people have seen this movie and a few more million people have been exposed to the brilliance that is Dr. Argus Fox Esquire.
I mean, I deserve all the credit. I really do.
I'm hoping that you don't.
This entire this entire documentary was supposed to show everybody how great I am and how through my sacrifice, that I've become who I am today. And here's what we got. We have a box that says J.R. Bob Dobbs and the Church of the Subgenius. So that's the name of the movie, right? It's not the name of a Wikipedia article. Okay, so we've got that. Wasn't there an original title? There was a working title. Slacking Towards Bethlehem, I think, was the original title, which I didn't get that because
There's a couple of working titles. There's a couple of working titles, and the consensus
Untitled Hot Dog
and
Project.
I think this was a note I think she took from Stang, which is if you're making a documentary and you want people to know what it's about, you need to put the subject matter in the title. And it had, I think it was In Search of Slack, J.R. Bob Dobbs and the Church of the Subgenius in Search of Slack, and that was too wordy. There was a couple different variations. I'm looking at the original poster, and I thought it different name. I think it did at first, and they settled on this when they went to distribution.
Just the name of just literally the subject matter as the title.
Yeah.
So like Rape of Nanking, rated PG.
Yeah. Well, it worked for Tiger King, right?
There's
about tigers.
There's 3 reviews on here. There's 3 reviews printed on the box. The first, a wild ass ride. The Church of the Subgenius is somehow both a product of an absurd world and maybe the religion it richly deserves. That's from Brent McKnight from The Last Thing I See. Okay.
That seems made up.
Then the next one, a colorful respite from the world and its more widely accepted cults. It's Bob. Bob's in black and white. He's not even in color. That's from John DeFore Hollywood Reporter.
That's a good trade magazine. That's a good review from
So
them.
that does seem like a good one.
Here's the thing. Yeah, but
there's a third one. There's a
also
third one here.
inaccurate.
A truly fascinating portrayal of a joke gone too far, and that's by Danny the Movie Man from Keith Loves Movies. So they couldn't even get Keith to watch the movie.
Danny.
They passed it off to Danny the Movie Man. Keith was busy this weekend.
Maybe Keith watched it and told Danny to write that. We don't know. We don't know Keith's workflow.
And there's 3 pictures of Stang on the back. There's one picture that's all Stang. Then there's Babby Stang. And then there's Stang and the fat guy from Devo. He's there. And then
Paul
Paul McCartney's down here. You got Paul McCartney and a guest appearance by Andy Warhol. I don't recognize this cartoon. Do you recognize that cartoon at all? The sad crying clown in the iron lung. He's got like a little demon behind him.
I think it looks like Hal's work.
That looks like Hal's work. Hal's work looks better than that. But here right at the beginning, the church. This is the synopsis of the film. Okay. The Church of the Subgenius has been called, quote, the most aggressively preposterous theology the world has ever known, end quote. But what is it? And who is Bob? And they spell Bob, all capital letters. But, can you guess?
No quotes.
No quotes.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I want to interject this, though. You know, the movie are not necessarily the people that designed the box. The box is probably designed by the distributor, I suppose. Now, I'm sure she had some kind of creative output in that, but I'm not going to judge the movie on
but
a shitty
it just shows how extradited it is, how far out of our hands it is, and that's kind of scary. Like this is.
Well, wait a minute. You say our hands. She's a card-carrying member. She make her fucking movie, we'll make ours. We wouldn't expect her to fucking control our movie.
Yeah, but she got it to somebody else. She negotiated with the con. She's not an agent, is she? She's not like a double agent, like a glorp.
She's a super nice lady.
Oh, of course, most glorps are. They're really nice when you get to know them. You know what I'm saying? And they keep sticking around.
I think you're gonna like it mostly if you let yourself.
Well, I was gonna have a private watch party this week, probably this weekend.
There's one part you'll probably break your television. There's one part you'll probably break your television.
I'll go outside for that part. That'll be my pee-pee break. Dr. Fox, get up and leave the room right now. We'll tell you when you can come back in, so you can call me. Check it out. I got some subgenius coral here. Look at that.
It's just not designed to make money.
Looks like a golf ball. Isn't that neat? I got this off the beach. I got this off the shore.
Oh.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah, you got some neat bits there.
You got some golf ball coral.
Got some golf coral. From the
initially this
Arnold
movie
Palmer
was going to be
from the shore.
A woman's perspective. Initially, this movie was about a woman's perspective, supposedly, and I think one of the cuts is actually like that. And so they tried to interview a lot of women, and some declined, and some actually did. I think Anna Mall's in it for a little bit, so they still have some of that taste of it. But it was kind of hit and miss on who they picked and who they didn't go to put in, on who was active now. They didn't really discuss anything going on in the church today, per se. It really seems to be more about how it came about, how the two guys met up, how Bob got involved. Then there's some other shit, and then there's some old footage and stuff. And there's like flashes to current day stuff. But there's really not anybody doing current day stuff that was interviewed with any kind of, what do you think it is? So I think that part of it's flawed. But you watch it, do your watch party,
Do you want
And
to
then,
watch
like,
it? Do
next
you want to
week-
watch it with me, Peas? You
I
want to
don't
hold
know
my
about- yeah,
cyber hand?
I'll watch it with you again. Sure. I want to see where it is that you get steamed. So I want to be able to see your face as we're watching it.
Yeah,
then I'll
that's what
take
I'd like.
notes,
I'd like
and
to.
I'll
I'd
go.
like to have a couple of us in there, and then I'll work on my review when I'm done. But that I'm hoping to make that my first like video review, because up to this point, I haven't updated. I haven't written a movie review since Sonic the Hedgehog, which was also a beautiful movie review that you can read on the blogs at timefortheshow.com.
Now, Karen's watched it and she really enjoyed it. She said it explained a lot for her.
But she's seen a rise, right?
No, she couldn't sit through that.
I have used Arise as a real litmus test for people, and I found it worked well when I was dating. If a girl would sit through Arise, she was worth keeping around, even though some of them were bad decisions. But that was back when I was a thinker.
Yeah, I remember when you showed me Arise. It was a very tense moment because I didn't know what it was. You would not tell me. You just said, "Here, sit here and watch this."
Behold.
That was it.
That's it. Yeah, just
Behold
put
the
it
greatness
on.
of Douglas St. Clair.
Don't set it up. Don't do it. Just pop it in. Get a VHS cassette of Arise and plug it into your VCR, and make somebody watch it. And
I want to make an app. I want to make an app that's a VHS simulator. So you run a movie through this app, and it's like you're playing it on VHS. I need to talk to Cosmac about that.
You want an app to do that?
Yeah, I want an
You want a
app. I want an
shitty
app
filter?
where I'm gonna watch
So you
a
want
movie,
you
but
want
I put this
Snapchat?
app
That's what
filter
you
on.
want?
Is that what it's called?
I'm pretty sure you can do anything with Snapchat. I think you can make yourself beautiful. You can. It's easy to lie with Snap. I don't know. I play. My father told me about Snapchat before I had ever even used it, because somebody he knew had it on their phone and they were able to do the crazy faces. And so like the one time I used Snapchat, I think I was if that's the right one, right? The one with all the goofy AR effects.
Well, it's like, yeah, you have all kinds of, like, you know, France and old Mexico and, you know, different film qualities.
I got logged out of Facebook earlier today. I thought I was getting booted for a second. I was expecting to be in jail when I logged in or something, which I don't really use it. I can't stand all this social media crap. Peas, that's where you have to shine. You have to do, because you do that. I do scroll through and you do your thing where you hold your camera under your neck. So you look like some sort of earthworm that got a pair of Barbie and Ken glasses, and you stare down at your phone and you tell everybody something. You usually do that in between telling people off on Twitter or saying something mildly racist.
I don't think I've ever been mildly about anything.
Well, maybe on Twitter. I meant your Facebook. Your Facebook. So
Hey,
you have to do
you
all
look
the
like you
time
could
for the
use
show
smoke.
dailies. What?
You look like you could use this. You look like you could use a smoke.
What does that mean? I'm looking healthy, invigorated.
Yeah.
I need to retard my happiness for a moment.
I wish we had some music or something to listen to for a minute. Maybe some local artist or friend of ours that makes music, and we could help promote them, because we've got a radio show here on Free Think Radio and a YouTube channel.
You're right. We do have those things. I guess I could play a song, Peas. Is that
Very
what?
exciting.
I mean, I was
I'm
having a good
directing.
conversation, but if you want to you just want to stop everything.
I might have to pee.
All right, we'll be right back. This is Rubik's Cube.
Please don't throw your trash in my yard. Holding on to your empty soul can't possibly be that hard. I get it, I'm impatient as well, but I'd rather wait a second than wait 3 years on me in jail. These kids are pretty quick on their feet. So you're looking for some trouble when you're going nearly 60 down my street.
That was Rubik's Cube with Cell Phone 2 on the album Hypnostank, available at packslack.com. Also home to Triology Soaps, a proud sponsor of Time for the Show. And so are all of these happy-go-luckies. Subjectee Change, Bob South, Michael Marcus, Reverend Loch Ness, Dr. Trenchy, Agent Lloyd, Negative at Night, Long Dead, Scalpod, Hazel of the Windmills, who also does that music on the intro load-ins, Count Sloth, Caller 23, host of What the Fuck Did I Just Show, Sundays at 10 on freethingradio.com, Reverend 80, who made the theme song, Dr. Cosmac, who just drove me around everywhere, and a Boss CX Fenord, who's cranking out more art, going to galleries and stuff like that. So these are the people that see that what we're doing is important here. And if you want to be a part of that, you can go to patreon.com/hypercube and sign up today. Now, Subjectee Change is due for, now he also gets like some extra tiers, like the, what was he get? The Stupid Idiot Level for Morons. So I have to get him his Stupid Idiot Level Morons card out to him. But then there's also some other things here. Let me see here. Let me see here. Gets a shout out. Gets access to the Scabs channel. Let's see what. And then now, Peas, you're supposed to read Subjectee Change's fortune for him. So it's my favorite part of the show. Reverend Pease, read that fortune.
So here's the thing, too, before I read the fortune. You watch the movie. If you want Sandy to come on and interview her and ask her questions about the movie, I could arrange that. She likes me. So you just think about that, young man.
I haven't said anything yet.
Subject to change. Your fortune is difficult because your paths are many, and your future, while uncertain after much meditation and pondering on the Pease's part, became perilously. It became pretty clear, dude. So, your fortune, and I advise you to do this quickly, is to fly on the next jet to Las Vegas. Bet $1,000 on the single pull of a dollar slot machine at the Tropicana at 6:18 a.m. You will be guaranteed to have a buttload of excitement, and the thrill and the agony of gambling and excitement and the ups and downs and all that come with it will be yours.
The agony.
That is your future. That is your future if you reach out and take it.
All right. That's Pease's fortune. Go gamble. That's what Pease has advised you to do. Go gamble. I have to. I'm legally obliged.
So we can hang out.
That I need to read a random Bible verse and make an interpretation for it. So today's which I just pulled. I should have pulled it up for all the kids to see. But today's random Bible verse is 1 Corinthians, my favorite of the Corinthians, 7:2. But since sexual immorality is occurring, each man should have sexual relations with his own wife, and each woman with her own husband. And so what that relates to you, how God is speaking to me, which he normally does, but he's telling me to tell you through this that he knows what you're doing so long in the bathroom at the Denny's. So cut it out. He's always watching. He knows when you were sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
If he knows, why doesn't he help more? Like if you're at the bathroom in Denny's and you're struggling, why doesn't he help you with better pornography in your brain? Why doesn't he help you finish quicker? Why isn't he a pal?
I guess probably you.
You know, like when you're porn,
like Agnes Beef.
No, you don't be speeches. It's like in the old days, you'd go out in the woods and you'd have your porn magazine, right? But after a while, it would lose its excitement. You'd seen all those naked people. You'd seen them do all those terrible things to each other. So your friend would show up and he'd say, "Hey, this is my best porno mag." The Beastie Boys even wrote a song about this. And he would give it to you, and then you would give him yours, and you would both walk away happy because you had new nakedness and fornication to see that you hadn't already seen and pleasured yourself to. So when your mind memory pornography is tapped out, why doesn't God give you a better reel to watch? If he's your pal, your friend would give you the old porno mag. There'd be some parts stuck together and you wouldn't do anything with those parts. You'd let that go by for a long time till finally you'd seen everything in the magazine and you got to peel those pages apart from each other just to see what treasure lied there. But I don't know if you were doing that
and
for
it was
like
an
a
advertisement
surprise or just
for
'cause
Hubba
it was
Bubba.
stuck and you're so, was that Coke or? Yeah, so you just didn't know it was a risky move, but you'd eventually.
So we always just went down to the basement and fiddled with the cable
Just
box
see.
until we got to channel 98. You know what I'm saying? Little channel 98. Just watch it, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, hold on, go
See
get the
it,
TV
boom.
with the horizontal tracking on it," like that was gonna fix anything. It's all boob, man. It's all. You always see the wieners come through. Macrovision had that down. You'd see every wiener. And that's where I learned that when you measure off against your friends, you start from the base, not the tip. Be a gentleman about it.
Masturbation was funner when it was a group activity.
It is kind of lonely now. You know, it wasn't. It. Times used to be better. So that brings us to my favorite part of the show. Subgenius of the week, which is pretty light this week, because I just sent I sent Peas a video of somebody else doing a video earlier, and like there's enough commentary on just the video. Look at him shaking his head.
So he sends me this video, and it says, "Deputies tell sheriff to stop it." So I'm expecting to see this great video where this sheriff loses his mind, and his boys, the deputies, guy go, "Oh, Deputy Hogg, this person's actually got a point. They're allowed to photograph." But it was nothing like that. It was like this dude. I think lawyers make these audit things just to like pass some elective they've got in law school. But yeah, I don't know. It was good, I guess. Maybe I watched the wrong video. I do everything else wrong. Maybe that wasn't what you meant to send me.
You do tend to mess up a lot, but what came to an interesting part of this video were references to fighting words. Quote, fighting words. And
I've never heard that term before.
So yeah, I haven't either, but Aster 6 was able to help extrapolate a little bit from this. So in this video,
Bugs Bunny says it all the time. Them's fighting words.
Well, them's fighting words, yeah, but in a legal sense,
yeah,
like this is
a legal
term
sense, as justification to assault someone. It's basically saying you can say something so heinous that whatever happens to you after that is sort of your fault.
Yes.
And I did not know such a thing was possible.
That's where I was getting interested in.
Because there's already not free speech protected. That was the point.
But insults and pretty much anything short of threats, but insults are protected, right? Is that what we reached?
But the thing about it is when we use a term like fighting words, which implies a judgment of some kind, what is fighting words to you may not be fighting words to the next person. It's not as clear cut as
there was here. Let me see here where that was in here, because I wish I had done a little bit more research on this today, but we were taking care of business. I was cooking Mondo burgers, yeah, the video is a little bit misleading. Surprise, but there is a woman, a person that I'm going to identify as a woman.
Why she got a dot on her head?
She's in sniper training. So she goes to a function in a public building. We'll just say the civic center, community center, whatever. So she goes to the community center, and a political party is having a meeting there, and she starts filming it.
Now let's remember, political parties are private institutions.
They're not government bodies.
They are not public entities.
So their proceedings do not need to be open to the public, and if they tell you that they don't want you to record, you have to oblige by that. The Democratic Party has it, the Republican Party has it, any group that's renting it out. But if the government, even if they're in a government building, you don't have freedom of access to it. You have the freedom to rent the facility for just the same amount of money as they do, which was probably like $1. So the sheriff, she's calling out to the sheriff, and he's inside, and they're saying, no, look, they've asked you not to be in here. They don't want you filming, and everybody's being pretty reasonable with her. And she keeps escalating and moving up and saying, you know, you're violating my rights and everything like that. And she tells she calls the sheriff out, and the sheriff's wife, they had been in a golf cart crash a few years prior, and then rumors went around that they were drinking. So she makes the remark to him
died.
His wife is dead, and
it's a golf cart.
In a,
They're so drunk that somebody died in a fucking golf cart accident. I can't stress that enough. That's an important part. A fucking golf cart. Okay.
So, well, the drinking is all alleged. You know, that's hearsay.
Alleged drinking. But you gotta
But
think
the golf cart,
but the
golf cart
accident,
incident is
drinking was
real.
involved.
That is real. And this lady,
Dead sheriff
this
was.
nice lady, says something referring to another matter is like when you
killed your wife.
when you
too.
killed your wife,
That's what-
when she accused him of killing his wife, and he holds his composure really, really well and walks away. You know, I don't see deputies coming in like, step off, man, it's not worth it, man, it's not worth it. Like, they just kind of come in, they're like, okay, you're done. The sheriff has told you to leave.
Interesting. This is where it gets interesting, though, because now this guy goes on to comment, and he talks about fighting words as a legal term. And Fox talked to me earlier about this. He'd never heard of that. He had no, and I had never heard about it. And I don't know if you want to watch the clip or whatever, describe it, but apparently, had that guy lost his cool, it would have been the equivalent as far as free speech goes, as like, you know, everyone knows yelling fire in a movie theater is not protected free speech.
Yeah.
And apparently, and this has gone to the Supreme Court, uttering fighting words, a nefarious term that could mean anything to anybody, is justification to fuck somebody up, right? Is that am I getting
Not
Well,
really.
there's
There's a very well-defined.
There's a highlighted area here in the text. It says page 315, US 572, and I'm going to actually go above that, so I assume it's 571 up there. Probably not. Allowing the broadest scope to the language and purpose of the 14th Amendment, it is well understood that the rights of free speech is not absolute at all times and under all circumstances. Footnote 2. There are certain well-defined and narrowly limited classes of speech, the prevention and punishment of which have never been thought to raise any constitutional problem. These include the lewd and obscene, the profane, the libelous, and the insulting or, quote, fighting words, dash, those which by their very utterance inflict injury or tend to incite an immediate breach of the peace. Footnote 4. It has been well observed that such utterances are no essential part of any exposition of ideas.
So what that says is that he could have arrested her for saying that.
Words,
I guess,
saying,
right?
saying something to hurt somebody.
Which, yeah, that was the only...
And that's what she's doing. So could he have arrested her for that? For fighting words? Could he have taken that as assault?
I don't think it would be a crime in and of itself, but it could be used against you in a case of something else happening. You know, take an assault case. Well, Your Honor, he said some fighting words, and I would already been drinking at the bar, so I hit him. And that might be a defense for...
I think it is. I think it is an arrestable thing, because here's the reason. If you were at that same situation location and you stood there while you were arguing with that guy and then you screamed out, fire, 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 they would arrest you for a whole bunch of things, and your ability to say fire as free speech wouldn't be a defense. If you say, hey, his wife died in a golf cart class, and in the middle of him executing his duties, you say, oh, you killed your wife too. That's why you're doing this. I think he could arrest you for the same reason he could arrest you for citing a fire. You are inciting, you are attempting to incite violence by using fighting words, just like if you said the word fire, you were attempting to incite a public panic.
Well, I think at least
So I
in this
think-
specific case with her making the accusation, or saying something nasty about how his wife died, I think that at very least could be considered libel. She is saying something that is not proven or known.
That is meant to defame somebody.
Yeah, it is meant to harm his character. And as an officer of the law, committing such a terrible crime would be a very slanderous.
Do you think he went in the bathroom and cried after that?
I think he deserved to. I don't know if he did, but I think that would be completely valid.
He held his shit together.
He really, I mean,
He held his shit together. He tolerated this person just fucking badgering them, like calling him out. They called him out from the meeting, and he comes out to talk to her on request, and she berates him and then says that to him.
She acts like a total.
So he held together really well, and she didn't understand where the limitations were. But where I started to, I went down a slippery slope earlier, and Aster was doing pretty well on helping me from that. But it's like, well, if you say something hurtful to somebody over the internet, could they sue you for that? You could sue somebody for fighting words, right? Or at least press charges.
But, go kill yourself would be maybe something that you could sue somebody for. That's mental damages. You wished me very serious ill harm, knowing I was in a fragile state.
In a public forum.
It's such a cheap bit, too.
Yeah.
And there's grown adults that use that. I heard it at X Day. And I'm like, it's fuck them if they can't take a joke. Okay, make a joke. Set up punchline. Just blurting something mean out might make people laugh, but it's not necessarily funny. It's about the concept.
You know why they laugh?
It's a concept.
People laugh many times when somebody does something like that, because they're uncomfortable and they don't know what else to fucking do, and they think only someone trying to make a joke would say something so offensive in that environment. And just like you said, it's not like, say something funny, dude. Don't just say if you can't take a joke, fuck it. Make a joke. Fucking telling somebody to kill themselves is not making a joke. If anything, if you're saying it in regards to something they said, you're making a commentary. Not a good one, but still, it's not a joke. Write a fucking joke, and then if somebody doesn't like it, you can say that. But telling somebody to do something is not a fucking joke.
I agree.
And I think that's where people get lost in the church. They think, the church is a place where I can say anything because it's funny. Ha ha ha.
That's the idea. Yeah,
the church is a place where we expect you to be funny. Everything isn't funny. We expect you to be funny, and just saying shit isn't being funny.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't post, because I'm not funny. And anytime I try to be funny, people get upset. Sometimes they delete my posts. So it's
fuck, man, come on. God damn.
I mean, that's what I get for trying to be funny, so I just need to stop. That's what Time for the Show is about. This is my eternal punishment. And I will have to do Time for the Show forever to prove to myself and the world how unfunny I really am. And it sticks. It's working. It's working very well. Thanks to all the Patreons. We appreciate that. How about Peas is Light, everybody? That was purchased with Patreon monies. We can actually see Peas. We're gonna get him a bearskin rug for next week's show, which I believe his name is Barry. So that'll be
Barry the bearskin.
He was built
kids,
for it. Well, he plays the bearskin. But he'll do most of the holding, don't worry. Do you have your own harness? You have your own 3-point harness?
Bearskin.
I've got a spare.
What do you use that belt up on your closet wall for?
That is a guitar strap.
Oh, well,
signed by Buddy
Sorry, there's no guitar on it. I
Yeah, well,
misinterpreted
because it's
that.
signed by Buddy Guy, so it's kind of a display piece.
Buddy Guy?
Correct.
That's the fakest name I've ever heard, and I'm in the Church of the Subgenius. Buddy Guy?
No, we've heard faker. There was that one. guy.
Reverend Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy is better than Jimi Hendrix at the guitar.
Well, maybe right now. He is now.
Come on, man. Go YouTube Buddy Guy. He's like one of the most
I can't.
famous
We'd get
bluesmen in the
sued.
world.
We're on the
We would
show.
get sued. I would assume that you're trying to lead me into a series of copyright infringements and
there's
forever
a
jamming
story-
the show
there's a
to the
story
bottom
behind that.
tier.
There's a story behind that.
I'm
and I'll
waiting
save
for
it
like
the
Reddit's
show.
deep, dark depths of YouTube threads to pick up time for the show. They're like, look at how many they've done and nobody's fucking watching it. It's fantastic.
No, whatever.
But I was looking at the Free Think Radio numbers. Did you know that we're averaging about 2,000 listeners per month? And a good chunk of those listeners, I would say 30 to 40% of them, are listening for over half an hour. So people are tuning in for shows and listening.
And then turning it off. So that's perfect.
For a while, yeah. But there are people that are turning it on, and you got to give credit to Ferg because he's been like the Free Think Radio street team. In fact, some of our top listening audiences are in Brazil and Belize, where Ferg goes and convinces convenience store owners to put the Free Think Radio on. He's been doing
Buenos
that.
dias,
He's been doing
amigos.
that. So we are
Para
broadcasting
Belize and
around the
Brazil.
world. We really, really are. And there's very right now. Oh, hola, mi amigo. Donde está la biblioteca?
Donde
¿Qué
es la
pasa?
casa de la Pepe?
Bueno bar. ¿Qué pasa? Bueno bar. From
Mis zapatos
Kinder.
es la negro.
Can you say that on Brazilian radio?
Mis zapatos is negra.
Your head is black?
My shoes.
His
dude.
feet. His feet.
My shoes.
Is that what they don't speak Spanish in Brazil though?
They speak Portuguese,
They-
and Portuguese is like Spanish but fancier.
They do in Belize. So to whoever's in Belize, ha 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 ha. Oh, wait. Ja 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 ja. That's how they talk in like Mexican language, right? It's a beautiful culture, and we're invading
And
it.
there goes those listeners. And a lot of people don't know this, but some of those listeners are actually members of cartels. And so here's my hat off to all of the great cartels. And if you have any product that you need testing or endorsement, and you're a part of a proud South American or Central American cartel
Here
that
comes
want to
that
get a
3
little
a.m.
edge
knock I was warning you about.
of some of the other Mexican cartels, you can send your products to 6428 Dobie Peak Drive, Las Vegas, Nevada 89108, and I'll be glad to give your fine product the P's process of approval.
And to the guy crying in the corner, don't worry, they're coming for you. All right, Peas, it's time for my favorite part of the show. It's where you make me cry. So please, Peas, tell the kids what I want to hear. Any day now. Are you rolling?
Sorry, my cousin was calling me.
You were
Made my
cheesing out a
headphones cut out.
spliff.
No. Hey, so sure is a lot of good things to be sorry about. This is good radio. This is why we're getting all those listeners in Belize.
2,000 listeners in Belize.
Yeah. It's like the whole island. So, Dr. Fox, should we do my favorite part of the show?
Which is your favorite part of the show?
That's where I apologize and then take phone calls.
Oh, all right, let's it. Okay, Peas, do it.
Well, here's the thing, kids. I'm real sorry Flex Rutenberg felt free enough not to come on the show yet again. We'll send people out, look for him, but I just don't know if we can hold out hope much longer. We had an exciting time here in Las Vegas because we went camping at Lake Conegut, up there north, looking for ducks and fowls and different types of walking things that, go by water in the middle of the desert. That was exciting. And I'm sorry we didn't talk about that at all during the show. I wish that Fox goes and watches this movie with the open mind, because I think that he will dislike the same part I do, but I also think that it's a good movie. And again, if you don't like the movie, show me your movie so then I can compare the two. Until then, I suggest you shut the fuck up. And I'm only saying that because my friend Sandy, we became friends. She gave Carrots some cookbooks when Carrots had a cardiac event, and she's a nice lady.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Fox likes parts of the show.
Get in the kitchen.
Because we'll bring her on the show. You know what? If we got questions, we'll ask her. She'll answer the questions.
You want to get her on the show?
You want to get her on the show?
All right.
She'll come on the show.
All right.
But you got to watch the movie first.
I'll watch the movie. Set up a Monday night. And
watch the movie. Let's talk about it after you've watched the movie first.
All right. Well, I'll get the movie. I'll watch the. Oh wait. Well, what is that supposed to mean?
Well, because you're very spirited, and I'm in the middle of an apology, and I don't want to apologize for your spiritedness. So I'm going to continue on with apologizing for not really understanding the term "them's fighting words," but I think I got a good grasp on it now. And me and Fox are probably going to think about what we say in the future. We're probably not. We're going to just keep doing what we're doing. We might start pandering to our audience in Belize, though. I'm telling you what, if you're in Belize right now, I'm holding up some huckleberry juice right now, and I'm toasting you and you, because you're the one that told me where the Casa de la Pepe was, and that's where I needed to go, and you helped me get there. And that's my apologies, and that's our show, and you kids have a great time till next week, when we have an even funnier show. Each week, the shows are funnier and funnier and happier. It's pretty soon the government will outlaw us. So you make sure you get all it's time for the show in ya, inside ya, in any orifice that it'll fit into while you still can and the government lets you.
Well, you heard it straight from the horse's mouth. I mean, look at him. Like, really, look at him. My name's Dr. Fox. You've been listening to Time for the Show, a production of the Hypercube Labs. You can find out more about Hypercube at hypercubego.com. Don't forget, membership packs are changing up, so new ones are coming out. They're going to be more expensive. Fun. You can support the show by going to patreon.com/hypercube. Join the chat at timefortheshow.com. Click the Discord button. The show is broadcast every week on freethinkradio.com. Big shout outs to Dr. Ellis and Martha Artha for putting up with us every week. And for Peas, he's a nice boy. He's handsome. He's clean. And he just rage quit. We'll see you next week, everybody, on Time for the Show!